Trent, you son of a bitch, and not in the good way. I'm going to try and keep this as short as possible. And I want to try, for the first time ever, to put out a video and have no edits, just warts and all. But I'm thinking a lot about the Trent thing, and I just thought, I'll throw my name, I'll throw my opinion into the hat. Is that the right term? Whatever. For anyone who cares to listen. Absolute devastation, you have to say. It's like, I love Trent, but for him to leave, full stop, no problem. 10 years, won the lot, instrumental in a lot of our success. Absolutely wish him all the best, if he was leaving on the right terms. But for him to leave on a free, a player of his talent and his stature and what he means to Liverpool, the city, let alone the club, to go for free and leave Liverpool, like essentially mugging off Liverpool, does not sit well. And just when I think it could not sit well enough, it's to fucking Real Madrid, a team that have had our fucking number for years, beating us in finals. We just couldn't get the better of them. We haven't beaten them in 10 years, except for this year, and Conor Bradley actually started that game. So just gonna say that. So it fucking stings. And you know what? His radio silence also stings. At least Verge is, being very like, we'll see. And, we're working things out and, just at least talking about it. And Salah's been kind of a bit like, come and get me, Liverpool. At least it's a tactic. It's something. But the fact that Trent, the Scouser in our team, is just been radio silent, and now he's kind of like Homer in the bushes, just trying to back out to Real Madrid. And it's like the fact, like, I'm fairly uneducated about how contracts work, but it seems to me that he could have signed a contract, but it's easier for him to go to Real Madrid if he doesn't. Is that it? I'm sure Klopp leaving had an impact on his decision of like, I don't think I want to be here now if Klopp's not here. He didn't seem to take it well when Klopp left. One or two moments with Slot where he looked a bit like browned off on the bench, and maybe he just wants a new challenge, which again is fine. But it's like in the wrestling biz when someone is retiring and as they say in the industry, they'd put over the up and comer. It's kind of like that, only, is it? I don't know. That's the part I would have normally edited out. That went nowhere. Well, my point is that he doesn't have to do it that way. But there's a few other aspects as well, like the general reaction, and also to be real about his footballing talents. So, and it's maybe controversial to say, but I kind of view Trent under two different lenses. One lens is Trent 2017 to 2022, you could even say. And the other one is viewing Trent from 2022 to present. Trent from 2017 to 2022, absolutely generational talent, best right back in the world, hands down, helped us win countless trophies, and would walk into any team in the world, and was consistent. The trend from 2022 to now definitely has that in spells, but he's not consistent. And if anything, he switches off. We've all seen those games. He switches off. He looks like he can't be arsed. He's jogging back. His defensive, I don't think he's as bad a defender as people make him out to be, but his defensive frailties have been definitely highlighted. Other teams, it's their route to beat us. They'll say, okay, well, first thing we're going to do is we're going to attack down Liverpool's right. Everyone's like, of course we're going to attack down the right. And, sometimes he can handle it, but a lot of the times, I remember even when we were playing City a few months ago, and Doku, right, if Doku was any better, you know, they could have actually done damage. But Doku was just able to fucking breathe. I mean, that's just one example, but you know what I mean. You've seen that. So on the footballing side, if it wasn't for the fact that we have Connor Bradley, who, you know, the biggest compliment I can give him, look, he's not Trent. He doesn't have that range of passing. He's a bit more of a traditional right back. But when he's fit, we don't really miss him as much, Trent. You know what I mean? So when Connor Bradley's fit, we don't miss Trent as much. And now there's a question of, is Connor Bradley potentially injury prone? You know, he's had a few injuries. You know, he's very young. He might have just had a bit of an unlucky spell with it. But Connor, like I was only saying to a mate yesterday, I think Connor Bradley in a year or two could be the best right back in the league. You know, I think he's that good. And so the fact that we have him definitely softens the blow, but it doesn't change what Trent is doing. You know, and like maybe Trent just wants to go somewhere where he doesn't have the weight of the city on his shoulders, where he's driving past murals of himself, which, you know, you would think he would love that, but maybe he just wants to be just another Galactico, you know, just another fucking empty face in a white jersey. And, you know, you can't deny the appeal of Real Madrid. They've got Mbappe, Vinny, his fucking best mate Jude Bellingham, of course. You know, so, and, you know, it's a different league, different country. You know, fine. It's just how you go about, you know, just cross the T's and dot the I's before you go. But on the footballing side, I have to admit, I find myself shouting at him more than applauding him lately. It seems in recent memory. Maybe I'm kind of geared towards the negativity side because I know all season that he's possibly leaving. But like, how many times in a match, like I can't count the amount of times I've been like, Trent, or you're like, who is that? Like, fucking Trent, Jesus Christ, man. But then equally, he'll just, in a game where we cannot open the door, where we can't unlock the door, he'll pull out some insane pass and Salah will finish it off or whatever. So he's got that. He's always got that. But I want to see that every single week. Do you know what I mean? If he's going to be compared with the best, the very best do it week in, week out. You know what I mean? And I was watching my good friend, the Miyazaki man, Sai, over on Liverpool Fan in Japan, who I would highly recommend, who gave a much better analysis of, you know, the whole situation than I would. But he was saying that earlier as well, of just that consistency is what he's been lacking. And, you know, so on a footballing side, like, we'll miss him, and you could see in certain games where he hasn't played this year why we miss him. We'll definitely miss him. However, I think we have great cover, and above all else, if you don't want to play, that's it. That gives me a direct line to how I'm processing it. It's like, does he want to be here? No, I don't think he wants to be here. Oh, okay, see ya. You know, it's just, you know, that's just the way it is. You know, I was saying the same with Nunez, that like, if I see a player trying, even if stuff's not coming off, if I see you trying and you're trying your all and you want to be here, like, you have my support 100%. But if I see that you don't want to be here, and if I sometimes perceive you not trying and you're switching off and your head's elsewhere, fucking bye is all I'd say. And the last thing, just on like the general reaction to him leaving. I mean, real big Liverpool accounts and content creators and all this really going in on the, you know, Trent's a rat, he's a fucking rat. And I remember when Robertson took that corner quickly. Remember when Origi scored directly from a corner, and that, you know, I mean, first of all, terrible patter or banter or whatever you would call it. Just, I mean, come on. But, you know, we don't need to add any gasoline to this bridge that Trent is burning himself. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just, we just don't, like, do you know what the best revenge is? Living well. That's what they say after a breakup. The best way to get back at them is just to live a good life. And we've done it when Coutinho left. We did it when Torres left. We did it when Gerrard retired. you know, look at where we're in now. Look at all the players that we were devastated to see go in the past, and look where we are now. Because it's Liverpool, we have a very good backroom staff. I don't agree with how their handling of these contract situations, but in general, I trust their general, if they like a player, or, you know, they have all the numbers. I'm not smart enough to understand it, but their success rate over the last decade has been pretty good. So I have confidence in our ability going forward. Fair enough, the whole thing of how much money do we have and all that, which this whole thing plays into. This isn't helping. It'd be great to have an extra 100 million to try and cover these holes that have appeared now. But what can you do if you don't want to play? All the best, you know. So it's shit, and I don't know how it's going to play out for the rest of the season with him now. Like, the fact that he's been so silent about it is, you know, I don't know. Anyway, I'm just ending up repeating myself, but it's shit. But you know, and I have to also remember, nothing has actually been officially mentioned, but enough of the sort of the names, the Ornsteins, the Fabrizio Romanos, and all this, you know, it seems to be a thing. They generally tend to get it right. So fuck, but fine, you know. And Liverpool, you would expect, are going to be champions. It'll be really interesting to see how the reaction to Trent will be for the remainder of the season now. And I hope that the majority of Liverpool fans will be a little bit like above it, you know what I mean, and just be like, all right, see ya, you know. But that's it for me. Let me know what you think. Is he fucking dead to you, or are you just mentally making the switch? I've been like, okay, who else have we got? Let's focus on the rest of the team. And let me know if you can, if you'd like to get more of these unedited videos. This was quite daunting. I don't know why I decided to do this, but halfway through I thought I would have normally edited that. But let's see how we get on. We have another. I thought it was going to be this weekend that the reality would be back, but no, it's midweek. We have to wait for more matches. This fucking international break never ends. But I'll be back in a few. Let me know what you think, and I'd love to get your thoughts on it, and we'll chat more in the comments. In the meantime, up the fucking Reds, and I'll see you in a few days.